Hello, I'm Dr. Angie McCartney.
And I'm Ruth McCartney.
Welcome to TeaFlix,
where each episode's intimate conversation features a fascinating guest across the spectrum of Beatles world, pop culture, Grammy winners, the music industry, chefs, producers, music stars, actors, and more. So bottoms up and join us as they spill the tea on TeaFlix. And we are live once again.
Jolly good.
Jolly good. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Whatever it is. Cheers. Hello, little TeaFlixers, and welcome once again to TeaFlix. We are coming to you live on Facebook and later on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button. As we know, we are sponsored by Mrs. McCartney's Teas, so get your kettle on and get over there. So today we have an absolutely honored guest. I haven't hooked up with Michael conversationally in a long time, and it's going to be just fabulous. So today's guest, as you saw from our ample promos, is Michael Cavanaugh. He is an acclaimed American singer, pianist, and actor, best known for his powerful interpretations. Gee, I haven't had a sip yet. Anyway. Interpretations of the music of Billy Joel. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, Michael began playing at the age of 7 and quickly developed into a professional musician, performing in bands and venue while still in his early teens. Michael's career took a dramatic turn in 2001 when he was discovered by Billy Joel whilst performing in Las Vegas. Impressed by his vocal and piano abilities, Joel personally selected him to star in the Broadway musical Movin Out, a groundbreaking production built around the iconic songbook. In Movin Out, Cavanaugh performed as the lead singer and pianist, often referred to as the Piano Man, which is why we're wearing our musical notes today, especially for Michael. He delivered all of the show's vocals live from on stage, while dancers interpreted the story through the choreography of none other than Twyla.
Tharp, yeah.
He remained with the production for more than 3 years, performing over 1,200 shows and earning both Tony and Grammy Award nominations for his role. Following the Broadway run, Michael launched a successful solo career touring internationally with symphony orchestras. His live productions include the music of Billy Joel, the music of Elton John, and generations of rock, showcasing the works of the legendary artists as well as Paul Simon, Neil Diamond, and James Taylor. Often described by Billboard as the new voice of the American rock and roll songbook, Michael has performed with more than 100 symphony orchestras at major venues and events worldwide. His concerts blend charismatic stage presence with virtuosic piano playing. Do I get extra points for
virtuosic, yeah.
Bringing new energy to classic pop and rock hits. Today, Michael continues to tour extensively. We've caught him in between gigs, and he's captivated audience with his dynamic performances and his signature celebration of the great piano-driven music of the 20th century. I might also note that he plays guitar, drums, and saxophone. So no slouches, Michael.
No slouch,
and
exactly.
Here he is now. Welcome, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hello, ladies. How's it going?
Good. Lovely to
good.
see you.
And normally
Great seeing you too.
when somebody calls Angela lady, she says, "How very dare you?"
How very
Oh.
dare you. Lady?
Okay, I'll remember that, Angie. I'll remember that.
So going back to the very beginning.
Yeah. So what first sparked your interest as a child? When did you realize that the piano would become your world, your life?
Well, the piano became my world the day my parents bought it. So I was 7. By then, I was already like singing around the house, using a wooden spoon as a microphone. And I was banging on everything. My parents got me a snare drum. That was the first thing. I wanted to play drums. I think I saw Animal from the Muppets, and I just wanted to be like him. And they got me a snare drum, and I would bang the hell out of it. And that they realized how loud it was. And then one day, that drum magically disappeared. And I still don't believe the story they're telling me. It was just gone one day. And then my mom bought a piano because she wanted one. And I just attacked the thing the first day. I was all over it. I didn't know what I was doing. I was making up songs. I was trying to make up songs that try to play songs that I'd heard before, whether it was just a kid song or something on the radio. And it just kind of started there. I was all over it.
Wonderful.
And you have something called chromathesia, which is linked to synthesia, right? So even at that age, were you seeing? First of all, tell the viewers and listeners what that is. And was that from the very first time you hit a musical instrument? Did that come to you, or has it grown over the years?
So I'm learning something here. So chromathesia, is that what you called it?
Chromathesia is what our friends in the AI world said the subdivision of synthesia is. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I learned something new today. So I've always just thought of it as synesthesia. And I didn't even know what synesthesia was till I was, I don't know, probably 30 years old. I thought it was something everybody had. So to me, different notes are different colors. But it's not only musical notes. It's days of the week. It's months of the year. It's some people's names. It's some numbers. I thought everybody had that. So for me, like Tuesday is yellow. I thought everybody thought Tuesday was yellow.
Wow.
And like my daughter has perfect pitch as well. So perfect pitch and synesthesia tend to go together sometimes. So my daughter has it. So I think of C as the color red, and most people like me think of C as the color blue, which is it's like C is so red to me. It's weird. But my daughter sees C as blue, and I've seen other people like me online, and they usually see C as blue. But so it's weird. I can't. It's just a quirk. I don't know. It's a weird wiring of the senses.
Oh, interesting.
Sarah, when I was looking it up, doing some research, because I knew, it's sort of. Do you see it as an aid or a hindrance?
I would say as an aid. It was certainly an aid in the piano bar back when I met you, and people would want to hear a song that I'd never played before, and they're like, "Do you know that?" I'd be like, "Huh, maybe I do." And sometimes they would literally write the words on a napkin.
I know.
And then I would just hammer out the music, because there's only 12 notes, right? They just keep repeating each other. So I would say, I would say it's more of an aid. I mean, sometimes if something is in between keys, it bothers me. Like the song "Every Breath You Take," it's in the key of A sort of flat, like it's kind of in between. And
A squished.
A squish, yeah. I don't really know. And Footloose is in A sort of sharp, like Tears for Fears, Everybody Rules the World. They sped it up a little bit too. And there's a psychology behind it. Actually, I don't know if you've ever seen any of Charlie Puth's videos. Yeah. That dude is a freak. Like he's like a whiz, right? He's incredible. And he talks about how when they speed up songs, it activates different parts of the brain. I think he's right. Yeah. Even though it messes with me when it's between keys, I'm like, because my brain is trying to find it, and it's like it's in between, But,
and it's right. It's in that little bit between the black note and the white note, right?
Right. Exactly.
I think if I remember rightly, ABBA were the first people to do that back in the 70s, and what they would slow things down to make them a little bit flattish.
Yeah, maybe to kind of get that mellow. The 70s, it was such a.
I think Fernando was one of them. Can you hear Fernando? But I wouldn't know. I have relative pitch. If you tell me what C is, I can sing all the other notes, but I don't have perfect pitch. But
relative is all you need. Honestly, relative is great.
What the world does, if the world doesn't have perfect pitch, most people wouldn't even know that a song was speeded up or slowed down, because it is what it is to them.
Right.
They don't hear the key and know that it's off.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was researching, Kanye West is a prominent case of synesthesia. And other notable synesthetes, you are called, include musicians Billy Joel, as you probably know.
Yeah.
Itzhak Perlman, Lord, Billie Eilish, and Charlie XCX. The drummer Mickey Hart of the Grateful Dead has written about his experiences in his autobiography. And John Frusciante, who's the guitarist of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, talks about his experiences in a podcast on the Rick Rubin Show. And Pharrell Williams, because he's happy. He has the same gift or affliction, I guess, whichever way you take it, if the music's sped up or slowed down. Interesting.
Yeah. I would say overall it's a gift. The color thing, I don't know. I mean, it does help, because like when I hear, like see, like it's like there's like a red tint in my world for that. So my license plate, well, I won't say my exact license plate, but it refers to a note and a color, and people look at it like, what is that? I'm like, well, I'm quirky. It's a thing in my brain.
That's funny.
Interesting.
That's crazy. Yeah. So obviously we'll get back to the childhood stuff, because you have siblings who are musical too. But Anne had a question about the time before Broadway.
Before Broadway, you spent years performing your dueling pianos in Las Vegas, didn't you?
Oh, well, but even before, even before the dueling pianos, I grew up in Ohio, and I was playing in bands. So I played in my first bar when I was 12.
Oh.
And by the time I was 13, it was 3 nights a week. And back then it was always till 2 a.m. I
Oh
feel
my-
like it doesn't always go as late as it used to, but I'd be playing a biker bar till 2 a.m. on a Thursday, with school the next day. It was crazy. So the first few periods of high school and junior high, didn't go so well. Algebra class was first period, didn't have a chance. You know, like, I was here, and I'm doing okay without algebra, so it's okay. I've gone another day without using algebra, and I'm okay.
Yeah,
But
I would think so.
You're going to make it. Yeah.
but it was crazy. So I was playing in, we were playing everything from top 40 to 70s classic rock. Cause to me, like 70s is like the golden age to me. It just really is, everything from classic rock to yacht rock. It's like, I almost played something. I don't want to get you in a copyright.
No, you can play a couple bars. That's fine.
But I mean, like when I hear something like, I'm just like right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Takes you back to the moment.
I'm just like, I'm so there. Or,
oh yeah. And that is,
just makes me happy.
I just got a text from our lawyer, Bill Kelly, who is going to the Michael McDonald induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame tonight in Nashville. And he's sitting, he may be even watching this. He's sitting having breakfast with Michael McDonald as we
amazing. I'm such a fan. I laughed because you said, I just heard from my lawyer. And I'm thinking, okay, I just played part of a song. I just heard from my lawyer.
You thought it was that fast.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that was quick. That guy's on it.
Our friend Paul Moody is asking, does black correlate with a note?
It does. Actually, E is the only note for me that is black and white. So like the low E on a guitar is black and the high E is white. I don't know why. I don't know why. It has no, and like certain colors, like I never see green when it comes to notes. I never see purple. It's like it's red and orange, white, black, brown, gray, things like that.
How funny. Well, you only see green when our guest from the Chicagoland area, who's just tuned in, Patrick Roxworthy, you only see green when he does your tax returns. You get your money back.
Pat Roxworthy, rocks. That's all I got to say. I'm going to see him in a few days. Well, I see that. Yeah, when he does my taxes, I see the green go in the mailbox. Yes, lovely government.
That means you're making too much money. High class, first world problem.
You got that right. You know what? That is exactly right. If you're paying taxes, it means you're making money. So we are blessed. We are blessed.
We still, no matter all of the shenanigans, I still think we live in the greatest country in the world. And
there's no question.
Everything has speed bumps. Everything has ups and downs. It can't just be like all the way straight up all the time, right?
But can you get ox blood pudding here? Can you get that?
Probably at the British pub in Santa Monica.
I've never tried that. So like
black pudding.
Black pudding, that's what they call it?
Yeah.
I find myself adventurous, but they would have to tell me it was called something else for me to try it. It's probably great, right?
They probably tell you it was beetroot and oat sausage.
And I would try it for sure.
Yeah, no, I used to eat it as a kid, but
Jim used to love it for Sunday morning breakfast.
Ugh,
yeah, I know. I used to cook it like that, not looking.
So when the aforementioned popular resort figure and man about town Roxworthy introduced us all at New York in the dueling piano bar in Las Vegas, that was where you were actually, quote unquote, discovered. Did you have any idea that Billy Joel was actually going to come and see you? And did he make himself known? Did he hide? Did you prep? Was it a surprise? Set the scene for me.
So the first person I got to meet in Billy's camp was Max Loubier, Billy's tour manager.
Right. And
Max was friends with Rox and Dean Gordon and all those guys, right?
And Paul. Yep.
Paul Barrow, right? All those guys. So Max came to see me in the piano bar, and that was exciting because he worked for Billy, and I just wanted to maybe shake Billy's hand once in my life. So Max really liked me. We exchanged information, and then a couple months later, when Billy was coming back to town for a show, they were back, but they were in town a couple days early because they had a show the night before in Phoenix. So they came here. I didn't know they were in town that early. So I'm getting ready to go to work, and Max calls me and says, "Hey, I'm sitting with Billy right now, and I think I'm going to bring him to the piano bar tonight." So I'm immediately like trying not to have a heart attack, right? So I'm driving down the highway as fast as I can, and I'm trying to call security. I'm trying to make everything perfect, arrange the table. So then I'm told to go to the back of the casino, and I'm pacing back and forth, and Billy gets out of the car and he's walking towards me, and I stick up my hand and I'm like, I can't even speak.
Right.
And he was just really cool and down to earth right away. And we tried to sneak him into the piano bar, but that was impossible. There were security guards everywhere,
Right.
and the best table was reserved. So he walked in next to each other. Everybody starts freaking out when the piano man walks into a piano bar, right? So then he sits and he's watching me. He's like 5 or 6 feet away from me, and I'm just trying to hold it together. Thank God I did. I will say my tempos were probably a little fast, because I was excited. But I was actually able to sing really high because there was so much adrenaline going on.
Yeah.
And he was great. He was watching, and he was requesting Jerry Lee Lewis, and he was requesting songs, and I'm just playing them, and I'm hamming it up as much as I can. I'm like jumping on the piano and just playing with my feet and getting on my knees, and he loved it. And then he wound up getting on the other piano across from me that first night. And he's like, and he says, "Do you know a little help from my friends?" I'm like, "Yes, I do." So like we're singing it to each other, like we're friends.
What a night.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The crowd must have gone absolutely mental.
They were losing their minds. Like they couldn't believe it. Like at first they're screaming when he comes in, and then he's hanging out there. And at first, everyone's requesting Billy Joel songs, and I'm like, I'm not playing Billy Joel song in front of Billy Joel. So I'm playing Elton. I'm playing everything else I can think of. And then finally everybody's screaming, "Piano Man, Piano Man." And of course they're hoping he's going to do it, but he's not going to do it. So I look at him as like, go ahead. So I'm doing Piano Man. And on the last chorus, and I'm doing Piano Man in front of Billy Joel. And then on the last chorus, I have everyone I'm like, "Get your drinks, hold them up." And I wouldn't look at him, but out of the corner of my eye, I could see he got his drink and he did it with everybody. I'm like, this is not happening right now. Right. Yeah. And so then finally he does come up, and it was amazing. And people were in shock. I mean, they were freaking out, but they were in shock. He does 2 songs. We did A Little Help from My Friends, and then Don't Be Cruel, Elvis.
Wow. And
then he comes up to me and he's like, I gotta go, kid. Great meeting you. And he gives me a hug and he takes off. And I'm like,
now what?
Did this just happen? Like, was this a dream or what? And then from there on, then we became pals. I went to both of his concerts. I'm backstage. I'm hanging out with him at the Four Seasons after the show where he was staying. I remember I go to the Four Seasons and he comes in. I'm told to go there after the show. And I'm with Max and Noel, Rush, his security guard, and everything. And we're waiting for Billy to show up. And he comes in, and then they lock the doors. And then the people in that little steakhouse, there's probably 20 people. They can't believe what's happening because there's a piano in there. And then Billy and I are at the same piano, just playing and singing songs for the people lucky enough to be in the room. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess before, he made the commitment to offer you the role and take you to Broadway, he probably just needed to know that he could vibe with you and that you were a mensch. And, because that is obviously a lot of stress, all of the prep and the rehearsals and the actual stage shows night after night after night. He probably just needed to know that you were a decent bloke. Little did he know what an absolute bastard you are. But,
That's nice.
But, that was probably his way. I'm going to sit opposite this guy on a piano and get a vibe.
Yeah. I don't know. Cause I didn't even know Movin' Out was a thing at that point. It was. And at that point they were calling it the Thole Project, just Tharp and Joel.
Right.
And, Billy was the first to me, it was the biggest thing. Like the fact that he liked me and he thought I was the right guy was amazing, but I hadn't met Twyla yet. And if Twyla would not have liked me, it wouldn't happen because Billy let her steer the ship. He was kind of like, because he really respects her. He really does, because
she's the shit.
She's a genius and a maniac and all those things, right? But she's a genius first. And he said, listen, I want you to make this into what you're going to make it. I think this guy's the right guy. And luckily she agreed. Thank God.
I learned the Twyla Tharp method in dance school when I was learning to be a choreographer in England. And it was, at the time, it was the most angular, strange, because I'd learned ballet with all the graceful the fingers tucked in, and she was all the knees and elbows and all of this stuff. And I remember thinking, wow, this woman has changed modern dance and choreography forever.
She's a legend for sure.
She's absolutely unbelievable. We have a question in the chat here. Oh, Karen, our friend. Thank you. I got your little gift this morning, Karen. Much appreciated. He's asking, do you hear music in everyday living? For example, on a train as it speeds up and changes key, or when the whistle sings on a kettle, do you shout out what note it is?
I don't shout it out, but I'm always thinking about it. Yes. Trains. I remember the first time I remember talking to my dad, and I hear this train go by, and it blows out in A minor 7, like, and my dad's like, "You're crazy," And I'm like, "Dad, remember that?" And then we went straight home, and I played it for him on the piano, and he was like, "Wow." He's like, "You actually heard that chord?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was the coolest thing ever. It was like the first chord of Saturday in the Park." It was like that,
right?
But it was. And so I'm always hearing music. If I hear a car door slam, I'm like, "Oh, that was a B flat." So
oh my Lord.
Maybe not as much as Charlie Puth. Like Charlie Puth, he listens to the wind and he gets a note out of it. Like he's like me, but like 100 times.
Wow.
But the thing with him, it can be a detriment, because I've heard him say in an interview, his hearing is so active that it makes him nauseous. So if he's in certain situations, he wears like an anti-nausea patch or whatever, to try to control it. So to me, I feel like I've got the right amount that it doesn't make me crazy.
Right. We have a dear friend, Nico Bolas. He's an engineer, producer, mixer. He's worked on everything from Building the Perfect Beast to Oh Sherry. He was on Melissa Etheridge's first album he produced. All the Totos, Frank Sinatra duets. I mean, the dude has ears.
Bunch of no names. Yeah.
He can't play an instrument, and he can find a note, whatever, but he has perfect pitch. And he moved to New York, and he got a new dentist. And he said, "I love the guy, but I had to change dentist because the neon light above me was in E, was in D, and the air conditioner was in E flat. And somebody outside, so I don't know, he could hear the light, the air conditioner, and the I don't know, something in the elevator going up and down in the building was next to this dentist's office, and they were 3 dissonant notes. And he's like, I can't.
Sounds like Psycho.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he just said, I like your bedside manner and everything, and you come highly recommended, but I'm just either going to have to move you to a different office, or I can't be your patient. Because I said, well, what key was the dentist drilling? He said, I didn't wait long enough to find out. Because that would have done him in.
That's all it would have taken, right? Just to send him completely over the edge.
Right.
Yeah, I have met people like that where things really bother them. It doesn't bother me too much. The in-between key things bugs me a little bit, but I can get over that. It's funny. I remember one night in the piano bar. Now, here's where it's a detriment. One night in the piano bar, New York, I'm doing Bohemian Rhapsody by myself, and my voice was just not feeling good that day. So they're electric pianos, so they have a transpose key on them. So I hit the button and I try to move it down a half step. That was a big mistake, because when I play a B flat, I want it to be a B flat, but then I'm playing it and it's an A, and it completely messed up my brain. In the middle of the first verse, I'm like, "Sorry, folks, the song is not happening tonight." I just stopped it right in the middle. I'm like, "Not happening."
That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah. Karen's just saying the collective sound of a whole city changes key throughout the day into the night in a cycle, doesn't it? As the traffic dies down. And
it does. Yeah. It does. When there's so much going on at one time, when it's a city and there's sirens and there's cars and there's whether it's an ambulance or whatever going by, it kind of all masks itself out. It kind of all becomes gray to me, and it's not really I don't really notice it as much when there's so much going on. Kind of white noise almost.
What's that terrible old dad joke about somewhere over the rainbow?
I've heard it.
Yes. Right, he's sitting there somewhere over the rainbow, and he's got the thing, and he's stuck for the middle 8. So he gets up to go to the fridge for a beer, and an ambulance goes past.
That's exactly right.
He goes around the corner.
Yep, that's exactly right. I've heard different versions of that joke. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But they all have the same punchline. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what I love about it is as the ambulance drives past, the key changes.
It does. It does. And that's the thing. Sometimes when we play, if we play a certain size room and there's a slapback,
Uh-huh.
sometimes that slapback might be coming back slightly altered, and it can mess with you. It can mess with you. We use in-ear monitors, but my in-ear monitors have microphones on them. And that way I'm not so much in my own bubble, so I can still hear the room.
Right.
So sometimes it'll get in my head. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, am I singing a quarter step flat right now? I'm looking at my guys and they're like, no, you're fine. I'm like, I'm going crazy right now because I'm hearing it bounce around the room.
When it comes back at you, yeah.
And but what are you going to do? You got to roll with it.
That's why they call it rock and roll.
That's right.
Yeah.
So back to sort of the discipline of performance.
Yeah. You performed over 1,000 shows in Moving Out, I was reading. How
Yeah.
did you sustain the level of performance night after night? And
Well, I'll tell you what, that was the toughest part. So every day when I woke up, it was the day started and it was time to get myself ready to do it. I remember Max Loubier, Billy's guy, he would call me. He's like, you only work 2 hours a day. And be like, let me tell you, because the show was 2 hours, but it took everything I had all day. And it still does. Like I was just this last weekend, I was with the Harrisburg Symphony. Actually, it was great because Stuart Molina is the conductor, and he was the musical director for Moving Out. So it was like a reunion. And John Scarpulo, the sax player from Moving Out, and Dennis, the guitar player, we were all back together again. But we had a matinee on Sundays, and I will say, I love the people who come to matinees, but whoever invented the matinee, I'd like to smack them.
Yeah.
So I'm up. So we had a matinee at 3. I'm up at 8 in, and I'm in the rental car.
I saw you on Facebook. Yeah.
And that was me. And I'm driving through some neighborhood, and I'm in front of these people's houses going and nay, 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 looking like a maniac, right? But so that's what I do, because the people, you do 1,000 shows, or you do over 1,000 shows, but those people who bought tickets in New York, where everything's expensive, and flew in from Seattle or wherever they're from, they deserve the best you got every time.
Yeah.
They deserve that. And so it was always, and still is, when it's a show day, and my wife knows, if we go on the road and it's a gig, I have to be selfish. Like I have to make sure I get enough sleep. I have to make sure I exercise. I have to make sure I do all these things. So it's very different from going on vacation. That's for sure.
Well, and it's like when you're performing at your level, it's like being an athlete. It's a 24/7 training thing. You can't just get sloppy and say, I'm going to eat cheeseburgers for a month, because that's just not going to work for your career, right?
It's not going to work.
It's a calling, truly. And I think that people go follow Michael Cavanaugh on Facebook. He does these great daily sort of affirmations, and guess the song and guess the note and guess the, he'll play a chord, and then you should see the comments, and they're all over the place. I don't know half of them. But it's funny. I tune in to see what it is I'm missing. It's great content on Facebook.
And it's usually just like, here's your C. Okay, what notes are those? Things like that. And sometimes people are like, why'd you pick those? I'm like, well, I don't know, just because they were there. It's funny. But yeah, it's a fun way. It all started about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. We did this show in some city. I don't remember where it was, but it was with a symphony, and this 15-year-old girl, she's like a prodigy. She actually composed a piece that the symphony is going to perform. And she was really sweet. She waited in line to, get my autograph and take pictures and all that. And then she reached out to my manager, Greg, and she said, would Michael be willing to do a Zoom call with me? And I said, sure, absolutely. And I enjoyed it so much. She asked the best questions that it actually inspired me to start doing a lot of this content where I can help musicians of all ages. But, of course, younger ones, or maybe even guys my age or older that are trying to get gigs. I'm just trying to help keep it alive, because I don't have to tell you, it's a tough business.
How was the move from your mind of being the greatest interpreter of other people's works into building your own brand? How do you express the Michael Cavanaugh sound when you've been, displaying everyone else's work?
Yeah, I've been inspired by so many of these artists that I perform the music of, but it was always a dream of mine to put out my own music as well. And, the music part of it always came easy to me as far as writing melodies and chord changes. It was the lyrics that I felt like I needed work on. So I took a couple classes from Berklee School of Music online on lyric writing. Actually, one of the same classes that John Mayer took from the same professor. And it really opened my eyes, and it taught me how to write lyrics in a way that would, put pictures in people's heads, and it just made it easier. So it was something I always wanted to do, and it was a labor of love. I spent over 3 years on it because I was on the road so much. I would be out and I would come back and work on it more. And it's great because if I do a show, the music of Billy Joel or Elton John or Paul Simon or whatever I'm doing, I find a way to sneak one or two of mine in there. And by that point in the show, the audience already knows me, and they're very receptive, and it's been great. I remember the first time I played with the Boston Pops, and I'm up there on stage with the Boston Pops, and we're playing one of my songs, and it was it was incredible. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. What a moment.
Yeah.
And how do you, so I'm back to the producer in me is going, okay, so who writes all the charts for the Boston Pops? Is that you, or do you have a chart writer?
I have multiple chart writers. As a matter of fact, one of them worked with your stepbrother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forget his name. On a more recent, probably a 10 project around 10, 12 years ago. And actually he did it. I do a version of Blackbird that he wrote a really beautiful string arrangement for. And Blackbird is like a special song between my daughter and I. When she was a baby, she would cry. I would play Blackbird and she would stop crying, and it's kind of become a thing, So sometimes when I play it and I think about her, I get emotional, because now she's all grown and moved away because she hates my guts. No, I'm kidding. But,
yeah, and Angie's going to write to you. And
I have a story to tell you about Blackbird. I'll write and tell you.
It's a special. It's a special song between Ange and I, because it was a special song between her and her mother. Because not to bore the crowd who've heard it before, but Paul came home from the studio late one night. My grandma was staying, and her little nightlight was on, and he wanted someone to talk to. Long story short, she tells him about this Blackbird that taps on her window at 3:00 every morning. He records it with my brother's reel-to-reel tape recorder. It's not the Blackbird that wound up on the actual recording, but when they went into the studio to record the actual song, we have a cassette copy of the demo tape, and he says over and over and over again, this one's dedicated to Edith, which was her mother.
wow.
So it's a special song for her and her mother, and it's a special song for me and my mom, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you said, it's a special song for you and your daughter, Angie's like, yep, me too.
Yeah. It sure is.
Yeah,
It sure is.
And the inspiration was from Khalil Gibran, the Prophet, and all kinds of things, going on in the world at the time. But the culmination of it all coming together was this cheeky little Blackbird that used to live in our greenhouse on the Wirral near Liverpool and it used to pick all my dad's grapes, and he used to say, if I catch that effing Blackbird.
What a great story. That's amazing.
That is wild. So speaking of albums, and they're all on Michael's site, please go to michaelcavanaugh.com. And every Christmas, it's a tradition. On the Sunday after Thanksgiving, we put up the tree. We start saying to Martin about July, should we get the tree down?
That's true, down.
And yours is one of the albums we play religiously every year in this family.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
How did you come to, because, there's the old standards that you hear in Target. How did you come to pick the songs for your Christmas album?
That's interesting, because I have so many songs that are my favorites. I think I wanted to pick songs that I felt like I could deliver in a way that would do the song justice, but still sound like me at the same time. So like when I did, the first song was Last Christmas.
Right.
And of course I love George Michael, but I'm such a yacht rock fanatic. Like when I'm in the car, if I turn on music, it's usually yacht rock. Wow. So I call up this, actually, I think I could do it right now. This piano sound, and where is it? Give me just 1 second. Yeah, and Daryl Hall would always, here's the sound, but he would always put this chorus on his piano to make it sound like, right? That's my version of Last Christmas, but it sounds like Your Kiss Is on My List,
Oh, yes, it does.
And I purposely did that. I'm like, I'm not even going to hide it. As a matter of fact, if you listen real close on the very last Christmas, the backup vocals go, because your kiss. Like it actually, I snuck it in there on there.
Wow, great. I'll
I did
listen to that again. I love that.
Yeah, it's on the very last one. And so it was during COVID that I made the album. I'm stuck here. It was July. It was like 150 degrees here in Las Vegas. I'm like, let's do some Christmas music. Maybe it'll cool me off. And it was fun. It was fun. And it turned into a Christmas show that we do a little tour of it every year. It's the gift that keeps on giving now. So,
and now you get to drive through snow and ice in Wisconsin.
Yes, to perform for lovely people,
Oh,
people that I'm always excited to meet. And it's always Wisconsin and in Iowa and Pennsylvania and Michigan and Ohio and Virginia and all these places. And we do some in Texas, and maybe we did one in California, but it's usually the cold places, you know. And they're the best. They're the best, and it's snowing sideways, and it's just crazy. Yeah.
Well, but we lived in Australia for a year, and we spent Christmas in Sydney once, and it's summer, and they have turkey barbecues on the beach, and it's 110 degrees in the shade, and I'm like,
interesting.
It doesn't feel like Christmas.
It feels weird, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really the thing. But Ange had a question about your evening at the symphony.
Yes, you've also released an evening at the symphony, capturing your orchestral performances. What is it about playing with a full symphony that sort of elevates or transforms your connection to the music?
I've always said that, when we play with a symphony, it's like putting these amazing songs on steroids. It's like, because we don't want to take away what's already great about the song. If I'm going to play a Billy Joel song, an Elton song, a Paul McCartney song, I want the foundation to be what it is, because it's too good to mess with. But then when we put the symphony on top of it, like if I'm doing a song like Pressure by Billy Joel, if you think about it, what he's playing sounds very classical. Very classical. But then on that part, during the verses, I'm singing, you have to learn to pace yourself, just like it is. But then when it gets to that part, the band stops, the symphony takes over, and it sounds like Beethoven. It's amazing, right? And then we come back in with the verses, and then it all comes together. But the dynamic back and forth is just so cool. It's wonderful. Really cool. And we'll do a song like Pinball Wizard, right?
Oh yeah.
And our version is kind of between the Who version and Elton's version. It's kind of a mix of the two. But then when you put the symphony in there, it's just like, it's so powerful. But we were so green to it at the beginning. Like we had never played with a symphony before. So I remember the first time I ever played with a symphony, believe it or not, was at Carnegie Hall. Like what a way to get broken in, right?
This was going to ask you.
Just like throw me in the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
And that was a special show. It was a tribute to Macy's and actually a tribute to Neil Sedaka is what it was.
Wow.
But they wanted me to open it with New York State of Mind. The New York theme. So that's the first time. And I remember I'm sitting in the middle of this sound that I've never heard this way before. And I'm thinking to myself, I never want to hear a Kurzweil. And what a Kurzweil is, it's a synthesizer that's really good at doing keyboard strings. I never want to hear a Kurzweil again, right? Because when you're surrounded by the real thing, there's just nothing like it. And I also there was a song that Elton did with Neil Sedaka called Bad Blood. I did that one as well because Neil was there. So that was the first time. But the first time my band and I played with the symphony, it was in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
The people who run the Indianapolis Symphony saw me in Movin Out, and they reached out to us. They said, we would love to do a show featuring Michael doing the music of Billy Joel. And then after that, it led to all the other shows. They were all born in Indianapolis. But the first time we played with them, we were so green to it, and we're just up there, slamming away, and I could see them all like this. So we had to learn, how to take these worlds together, learn how to maybe bring back the volume, but not the energy, not the
dynamics,
drive, not, right? Not the meat and potatoes, not what makes it work, but we had to learn to work with a conductor, and it was great. This was back in 2008, so we've been doing it now for 18 years.
Oh,
wow. That's
so
amazing.
we can still blast it out the house, but on stage we had to learn, and it's an adaptation for the symphony as well, right? To think the way we do, and the marriage is just really cool. It's two different worlds coming together.
That's amazing. In fact, you just reminded me, I'm going to reach out to our friends Gary and Darla in Anderson, Indiana. Darla is on the board of and a big wig and a big fundraiser of the Anderson Symphony. So maybe that next time, they're far enough away from Indianapolis. They've just
sorry. I'm wondering if we played with them, but I can't remember. Like, it's possible we have, but if not, we'd love to.
I will make the introduction. Absolutely. So having, all of these Tony and Grammy nominations and accolades early on in your career, did those open doors immediately for you, or did you still feel that you had to prove yourself when it came to, this new touring thing and recording? I mean, once you have a nomination, is it like, oh, well, he's Mr. La-di-da, and you have to prove yourself 8 times harder, or does it really roll out the red carpet?
Well, the one thing I always say whenever anyone says he's a Tony and Grammy nominee, that's code for like he lost both of them, right?
You didn't win.
Yeah, but that's okay. No, I remember I didn't think I was going to get the Tony nomination because, my role was different for Broadway. I was officially an actor, but I was really the narrator through song. It was a different animal. Moving Out was a different animal.
Right.
So I didn't think I was going to get it for that reason. So when they were announcing the Tonys, the nominees, it was early in the morning. I didn't even get up. I slept through it because I didn't want to be disappointed. And then my phone starts ringing like crazy saying, congratulations. I'm like, congratulations on what? Congratulations for the Tony nom. I'm like, are you talking about the show? They're like, no, we're talking about you. I couldn't believe it, right? I couldn't believe it. So I remember thinking to myself, this is something I can take with me forever. Like this is a game changer for me. So do I still feel like I need to prove myself? I guess in some ways I'll always feel like that, right? Because it's every time I get on stage, it's my job to prove myself. These people might not know me. Now I'm not scared about it.
No,
I'm confident in what I do. And one of the videos I want to do pretty soon actually is how, most people that you meet that are humble, that are great to be around, they are confident people. Like I think to be humble, you have to be confident. Otherwise you have no self-esteem.
You're a blowhard. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But so it opened a lot of doors. I started getting lots of calls for acting gigs. So I was reading for like movies of the week. I remember I went to LA and a friend of mine, Jim McCairns, he was the head of programming for CBS at the time. And I went to LA for a corporate gig. It was an off day for Moving Out. I went to do some corporate gig, probably for some insurance company or something. And immediately Jim McCairns is this huge Moving Out fan. And he sends me an email. So I go and I'm in the top suite. He has the panoramic view. It's amazing. And I'm like, wow, this is happening. And I'm getting calls for all these acting gigs. And it never really panned out. Like I never really wanted to be like a traditional actor. It was never a dream of mine. So unless it was really something perfect for me, I didn't really go after it. I could have though. For a while, like I was really like Dean told me that Sam Raimi's office called me for something.
Wow.
And it conflicted with Moving Out and it didn't wind up happening. It was crazy. So it did open a lot of doors and, I'll ride that train till it stops.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, especially as a creative person, especially with you, seeing life in color, I think you just have to find a place in your life where you let the universe guide you. You can't don't force it, Phoebe. We used to say in England, right? Can't put a round peg in a square hole. And
it's true. It's true. Like I feel like a lot of the best things to me have happened kind of easily, right? Like, but I've been preparing my whole life for them. So my whole life I was learning these Billy Joel songs, and then boom, there he is in the piano bar. So by that point, even though I was nervous, it felt easy because I've been preparing my whole life for it. The symphony thing, like even though I never played with a symphony, I've been working so hard on trying to be the best musician I can and try to understand what symphonies would play even when I would try to mimic them on a synthesizer as a kid. Then when it happened, I was ready because I've been preparing my whole life.
Right.
So you just never know. You never know where you're going to wind up. And like this social media thing, like I'm on there every day. I'm swinging the bat. I tell people, I told my wife this morning, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing, and I'm doing it every day.
That's right.
And we're going to figure it out. And then someday maybe something easy will happen there. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting.
No, there's a lovely family story here. We were filming some promos for Mrs. McCartney's Teas, Angie's organic tea company. And she was saying, I think it was when you just turned 96. It was last Christmas. And she's like, I'm 96 and da-da-da. We wrote some kind of silly poem. And she's like, and the last line of the thing on the teleprompter was, and keep swinging for the fences. And what did you say?
Keep swinging for the faces.
Keep swinging for the faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting tired by this time.
No, I love it. I love it.
An older boy.
We got her a mini engraved baseball bat for Christmas that says swing for the faces.
Love it.
And I tell you what, there are one or two I'd like to.
Oh yeah.
But we won't go there.
I understand. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, everybody's got stories from the road.
Yeah, along the way, what's one of the funniest or the most unexpected things that's ever happened to you during a performance, that is?
During a performance.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see.
Or sound check or travel to a
Well, some of the Moving Out stories are insane. So, you know what? Why not? So,
Go on.
my buddy Tommy Burns, who plays guitar for Billy Joel. Tommy is a crazy man, right? So we're doing we're doing a show. I don't know. It might have been a Sunday matinee, and he was wearing. This was 2005. He's wearing pants that were too tight on him in 1987. Okay, these leather things like. There's nothing to imagine when he's wearing these pants, right? So we're between songs. We're between songs, and we have in-ear monitors. So between songs, our monitor engineer would mute our mics in the house so we could tell each other something if we needed to between songs. And all I hear is, "I ripped my pants."
Well, there's a big
Tommy never wears underwear, right? So John Scarpula, who still plays sax with me to this day. When the lights go dark, he comes up behind him. There's a little slit. He comes up behind him and rips him open.
Oh, no. Didn't put gaff tape on him.
So, he should have.
Could have.
So the rest of the set, Tommy's back was to the horn section, and there was a lot of laughter. That's all I can say.
Oh, that is just classic. But it's so very Spinal Tap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so at the beginning of The Stranger, we would do the song The Stranger. and Kevin was supposed to whistle the part because I can't whistle. And he had a hard time whistling because he was laughing so hard, but it was
Oh, that is absolutely classic.
I'm not sure I've ever told that story in public before, but it's legendary.
Well,
it's legendary.
Now Tommy's bum is legendary too.
Yeah, Tommy can handle it. Tommy's as a rock star as it gets.
Yeah.
I tell you what else I was wondering, if you could collaborate with any musician, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Be pretty tough to beat Paul McCartney. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Paul is, Billy Joel, Paul McCartney. I'll make it a tie. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Paul's melodies are just, of course, the lyrics as well, but if I'm in a bad mood and Penny Lane comes on, it's like it fixes everything,
Oh, how nice.
It's just man, it's so inspiring to me. It just changes. When that comes on, it just changes my biology. It just makes everything better.
Oh, lovely.
It resets your vagus nerve.
It does.
Have you ever been starstruck enough to ask someone for their autograph?
Let's see.
Do you have any autographs in your collection?
It's funny. Let me think about that. I think when I was young, I certainly would have been starstruck to ask for Billy's autograph or Paul's or anybody, but I couldn't get near anybody when I was young, but I tried. Funny. Here's a funny story. When I was 17, I went to go see Billy Joel in Cleveland, and I'm with my buddy, and my buddy is just he's just one of those guys who he could pull anything off. He's one of those guys, right? So he finds this piece of paper on the ground, and it's just this picture of Billy wearing sunglasses. He tapes to the inside of his jacket. We go down the back security thing of the arena at the end, and he flashes this, and they let us in. It wasn't a backstage pass. It was like they let us in. And Billy had just left. And I told Billy this story years later. He's like, figures, of course.
Yeah.
But we actually got back there. We got into the hospitality room, and we see all the food and everything.
Wow.
So I don't think I ever got close enough. Now, by the time it got to the point where I met so many people backstage at Movin' Out, everyone from Jack Nicholson to Nicole Kidman to, just these megastars. It was really more about getting pictures with them than anybody else. But I remember when Josh Groban came to our show.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm walking out the stage door. So I did ask him, but.
Did he sign it?
He comes towards me, and I'm looking, and he says to me, "Can I have your autograph?" And I'm like,
"Oh, that's
great.
great."
This really be the other way around here, So, but he loved the show, and he was great. I'm like, "Please come back." And we hung out for a while, and he was just so nice, and we talked. And then I did the Movin' Out tour in Cleveland. I didn't usually do the tour, but when it went to my hometown, I did it there, and I switched with the tour guy, and he was thrilled because he got to go to Broadway, And Josh happened to be doing a concert in Cleveland on my off day. So I went, and I'm thinking, I don't know if he's going to remember me, but I reached out through his people because some of his people knew the Billy Joel people. So he has this meet and greet backstage, and we're standing in the line, and Josh is jumping up and down, waving both of his hands. He was all excited, and it was great, So that was a thrill for me.
Yeah.
So that was one of the great parts of Broadway is just getting to meet so many amazing people, musicians, actors, producers, directors. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow. 1,200 shows. Is there one that stands out for you? Is it opening night, closing night, or one where, somebody came, or is it all a blur now?
Well, no, it's not a blur. Honestly, believe it or not, one of the biggest thrills for me was the Fonz.
Oh,
wonderful.
Henry Winkler. I watched Happy Days so much as a kid when he came backstage and I got to take a picture with the Fonz. It was amazing. And he was so sweet. He's so gentle, he's so mild mannered.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was,
that's nice.
It was amazing. Yeah. I don't know why that one jumps out because there were so many. I mean, Alanis Morissette and Glenn Campbell. That was amazing.
Wow.
Like the Wrecking Crew. Did you ever see the movie The Wrecking Crew?
Oh, yeah.
We represent Denny Tedesco, the director who directed it.
There you go. Right. So that's one of my favorite movies. So Glenn Campbell was a big one because he's just he was a big star, but he's such a great musician. And just to get to talk with him about that was just amazing.
I did a stint for Arizona, Fox 12 Arizona, Phoenix. And before the American Idol goes to nationals, obviously all of the Fox affiliates all over the country have their own, local, regional championships and what have you. And I was a judge with a wonderful musician producer called Otto Daniolo, the late, great Sam Cooke. And our fourth judge member panel that I got to sit with for days was Glenn Campbell. And God, what a funny man he was. He was hilarious.
That's right. He told me he lived in Phoenix. Yeah. When I met him. Yeah.
And we were just about to go to the live news, and they said, and we were going live in 2010. And Glenn's like, but I got to pee. And so he takes the sponsor cups, the empty wax Coca-Cola cups off the thing, and he's talking to the newsman, and he just had, when you got to go.
I love it.
We can hear this noise, and I'm like, that
is hilarious.
The Coca-Cola sponsor is going to notice there are 4 judges and 3 cups. They're going to want.
That's amazing. I have to say, I don't have stage fright, but I think I would have stage fright.
Oh,
if I try, I don't think I'd be able to go.
And that one of the girls who was in line with a number, who came out with a little whistle, I think she sang At Last, Etta James, which every third kid does,
Sure.
But we picked her and sent her forward, and it was Jordan Sparks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That worked out okay for her.
Yeah.
She's got you to thank.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. We were watching the helicopter shots on the monitor. They had a Fox Helo outside, and it was springtime. So it was probably June-ish. So, in Phoenix, it's 108 degrees anyway. And there must have been 3,000 kids in line around the block at 7:00 in the morning. Unbelievable. But there's talent everywhere, man.
Oh, there definitely is. It's, I mean, if as soon as you get cocky, just go on YouTube and watch some 7-year-old just like completely obliterating.
Oh, yes.
Some kid in Beijing playing the violin, and you're like,
oh man, I'm
okay,
telling you, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, you've really done it, seen and done it all.
Well, on that happy note,
but
yeah, after such a remarkable career, Michael, what would you like to have it say on your epitaph?
Well, I care about people, so I like to use my music to help people feel better, to help them be positive, to help them feel happy. Like I remember during COVID when I was doing so many Facebook lives and YouTube lives, that a lot of people were in a dark place,
Yes.
and I just wanted to use, music to bring them out of that. And I care about a lot of things. Like I care about things that are going on in the news, and I care about horrible things that are happening in the world. I do, but I feel like my job is to make people feel better. I feel like there's so many, if they want to know the news, they can find the news. They can find out what's going on. I feel like my job is to be a positive light and to use music to do that. So something about that would be what I would,
You made me think of John Miles with "Music was my first love, and it will be my last."
Yeah.
And the final line was, "My music sees me through."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like he came, he saw, he played, we smiled.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my job. So it's not, to me, not just playing the music. It's just trying to lift people up. That's what I want to do.
You sure do that,
Well,
Michael. You sure do that.
You
Appreciate it.
did a lot of that today with people from all over the world. We had Scotland, Ireland, Atlanta, Wisconsin, Florida, New Zealand.
Wow,
Chicago.
I want to go there.
Chicago.
Chicago. I'll be in Lake. Well, that's rocks, right? I'll be in Lake Forest, Illinois, suburb of Chicago, a couple I'm
Excellent.
going to be in Florida and all those other places too. So yeah.
So
New Zealand, I haven't gotten to yet. I want to get there.
Where can people find out more about you for obvious reasons?
So michaelcavanaugh.com is my website, and then that'll have all my social medias on there. I'm Cavanaugh_music on TikTok and Instagram. On Facebook, I think it's Michael, or it's facebook.com/cavmusic. I need to make them all the same.
It's difficult though, because a lot of the names have gone,
That's the problem.
But that's why, we still build websites at McCartney Studios. We still build websites for artists because you need one hub, one place to go, one place to land. Make sure you join Michael's mailing list wherever you are. See if he or the symphony are coming to town. And if they're not, put them on the list. Reach out to your local PAC and say, we want to book these guys, because it is, honest to God, it's one of those bucket list nights you'll never forget in your whole life. It's just absolutely fabulous. Who's saying? Diana, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ruth Martin and Angie and Michael. Continue to be a positive force in this world. That's very sweet. Diana.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all guys for listening. So, Michael, you won't know because you're not a regular listener, but Angie is the author of a book called Mrs. McCartney's Liverpool Limericks and Other Random Irish Haikus. And she put pen to paper over the weekend. So if you're sitting comfortably, we will read you your personalized limerick.
All right.
All right. Again. You counted in.
1, 2, 3.
You just met our maestro friend Cavanaugh, whose talents lead critics to drop their jaws. From Broadway's bright lights to the symphony's might, we can't get enough. We want more and more. Ta-da!
Yay!
I won't
That
give
was
up my day
awesome.
job, I promise.
Not quite.
Thank you.
Not quite
I
a
love
limerick, but your last name has too many syllables for a limerick.
Oh, my last name's tough.
Cavanaugh.
I know. I should have picked the stage name. Oh well, I'm stuck with it now.
No, we
Thank you so much. That was great.
Thank you, and thank you for taking the time. And best to you and the fam. Keep me informed, and we'll reconnect on other things.
Yes,
Yeah.
the next time I'm in LA, we got to hang out.
You
Oh, yeah.
betcha. We're right by the
Awesome.
airport. The kettle's
All
always
right.
on. Okay,
That's
kids.
awesome. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Leigh.
We'll
I'm
see you
not
guys.
going to say ladies. Thank you, Ruth and Angie.
No, don't.
There you go.
Don't you
How
dare.
I won't. You got it. You got it. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye, kids.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks for tuning in to TeaFlix, and check out Dr. Angie's books, Organic Teas and CBD, at mrsmccartneysteas.com. Toodle pip.